Hey, is brought to you by Barton Community College. Explore your future and get started now. Visit gobarton.com.
Okay, Sports Day in 3, 2, 1.
Barnstable fadeaway three. Oh, what a shot. K-State on the switch. Rigsby lost the handle. Haggerty on the fly. The teardrop, yes. And thrown away. McGriff comes up with the steal. Castillo, the lane opens. K-State leads. Green for the win. No. Loose ball. K-State has held on to win it. What a game. What a game. Here's Lamb wide open. Backs in for the touchdown. End zone touchdown Cowboys. Ferguson. Prescott able to step into it. It's got Pickens. Good move. Nice cutback and a touchdown. Second down and goal. Prescott wide open. Touchdown grab. This time, Flournoy. Dak Prescott with a huge ball game tonight.
Sometimes I just like to listen to the song. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome into another episode of Sports Day. My name is Brant Daughtry. Landon Winkler is in the corner keeping us on the air. Sports Day today is brought to you by Barton Community College, offering exceptional and affordable learning opportunities, supporting student, community, and employee needs. I'm a little bit off today. Things are weird, but we start today's show, as we do every day, with the sounds of the past 24 hours. Last night, Kansas State with a thrilling win over Tulsa. J.P. Haggerty with 30 points, 10 rebounds. 10 rebounds from a guard is just not something you see very often, and that's just a really impressive stat line for that guy. He has been everything advertised. The All-American coming out of Memphis was just spectacular. And K-State is putting up, insane offensive numbers 5 games into the season. Still a long way to go, but, against Tulsa and Cal, it hasn't been all paycheck games. Tulsa and Cal are two decent basketball programs, and those are interesting stat lines, to be sure. Their defense needs work. I think everyone would agree. But, their offense is going to keep them in a lot of games, and they're going to be a lot of fun to watch this year. Your other sound of the past 24 hours, Monday Night Football last night, Cowboys and Raiders. The Raiders are dismal, and that showed up again last night, taking on Dallas. It was a pretty rough showing. But a good showing for Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys. I'm not a Cowboys fan personally, but I certainly understand why people are. And look, I think that Dak Prescott has silenced a lot of doubters this year. The Cowboys still aren't great. Their record is not fantastic, but Dak Prescott has shown that, yeah, he's a franchise-level quarterback, and he's not going anywhere, I don't think. And, Dallas is going to be okay at the quarterback spot as long as he's there, if he continues to play as well as he has so far this year. It's been a really good year for him, and in a year where he needed a really good year. Sports Day is brought to you in part by the Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street in Great Bend, also in part by Sutherland's, helping you build it better since 1917. From quality lumber, plywood, and OSB to cabinets, plumbing, hardware, and power tools, they have everything you need to get the job done. Visit Sutherland's on 10th Street, and also in part by the Barton Cougar Booster Club, continuing their efforts to make the Barton Community College athletics programs the very best in the country. And hey, man, they really are. Barton basketball is off to a good start so far. The men are, I believe, 5-1. The women a little bit off to a tougher start. They're 2-4 early in the season, hosting Dodge City tomorrow. Personally, I'm really looking forward to that. I'll be on the call of those games, so it should be a lot of fun. It should be a lot of fun as Dodge City comes in. The Conquistadors. Is it Dodge or is it Guard? It's Dodge. Dodge City coming in tomorrow, and really looking forward to those games. And Man, if you have not been out to the newly renovated Flesky Fieldhouse, speaking of the athletics programs and athletics facilities, then you're missing out, because that new gym and the way that the work they have done on it and the work they're going to continue to do on it is just really impressive. And it's been a lot of fun to call the 3 games that I've called in there so far. I've called 2 men's games, 1 women's game. The men swept the Booster Club Classic. The women, unfortunately, go 0-2, but they are still 2-5, and Jayhawk League play is here, so now all of that rest of that stuff is out of the way, and you got to go and you got to win the games, and I'm really looking forward to this season of Barton basketball. But on today's show, Sports Day, Jim Mizunas, our typical Monday guest, was not able to make it yesterday, but he and I had a short conversation yesterday. You'll be able to hear that on the other side of this break. And then later, Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats. You heard them in the sounds the past 24 hours. That wild win over Tulsa. He'll help us recap that and a couple of other things related to all things Wildcat. And that's on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
The 20K Christmas Cash Giveaway, presented by Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryan dealer, whatever it takes, and Mayo Money Management. And today you can get qualified to become our latest instant finalist at Mayo Money Management. Find them on the corner of 16th and Main in Great Bend from 1 until 4. Now is the time to stop in and talk to Tiff if you have any questions about the markets, interest rates, or inflation fears. When it comes to stock market prices, Mayo Money Management is here to help navigate uncertainty with a clear plan, because knowledge is power, and panic, it's not a strategy. The team at Mayo Money Management is watching fluctuations and emerging trends every day, helping protect what you've built and positioning you for what's next. If you're looking for ideas on how to spend $20K come December 13th, Mayo Money Management would be a great place to invest that $20K. And you could become our latest instant finalist with a $20K Christmas Cash Giveaway, presented to you by Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryan dealer, whatever it takes, and Mayo Money Management, your latest place to become an instant finalist today from 1 until 4.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the rec.
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Gobble up the savings at C&D Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you now, joined by Jim Mizunas of the Great Bend Tribune. Jim, thanks for taking the time. Hate you couldn't make it in for the Monday show, but Go ahead and give us your thoughts. We'll start with high school football here locally. Great Bend 29-22 over a really good Hayes team. Ends Hayes season, gets revenge for last year, and makes it through to the semifinal.
Yeah, it was a classic matchup when you're facing a rival like Hayes High. It was the biggest high school crowd I've seen in my lifetime as far as Kansas high school, and a fitting ball game for that kind of scene. There's fireworks after the game, and a lot of fireworks during the game, too. It was a back-and-forth type of game where Great Bend never trailed, but Hayes was constantly rallying, coming back, as they did during the season. Hayes came back and beat 6A and 5A teams during the year, coming from behind, playing a tough schedule. So you knew that it was going to go down the last play, and really it went down to the second to last play before Great Bend could take a knee on the last play. So a couple of goal line stands by Great Bend again. Their defensive line gets pushed around some. I mean, Hayes is back. Holden Lynn goes for, he only went for 200 this time. It was 253 last time. So they held him down almost under 200. But the defensive line for Great Bend, I wouldn't say it's a weakness, but when you line up three guys who are basically about 200 pounds and Jose Bustamante is 260, you have that possibility of getting pushed around to some degree. So, and again, that's happened from time to time, but Great Bend went more with the main game, focused on Ian Prima and Daxton Minton as their key rushers, but their key plays during the game offensively were still pass plays. They had a couple of touchdown passes to Cooper Omont, one to Ian Prima on double coverage where there was pass interference, and they went back shoulder fade in the corner of the end zone, and Ian Prima, as he's able to do, he had a soar for a pass reception, got the touchdown, and then Ian Prima got two key first downs on pass reception. So the passing game was still critical at times, although it wasn't as prolific as it has been.
That kind of seems to be the way that Great Bend has gone over the past couple of weeks, even though they have, we talk about it with Coach Beck every week. The headliners are on the outside. You've got Omont and Premer and Daxton Minton throwing the ball and all the records that those three have set this year and over the past couple of years. But for the most part, over the past few weeks, it's been the running game for Great Bend.
Yeah, it's nice to sort of rely on that when you have Kern, Spore, Inslee, Dynas, and Carter Brown. Offensive linemen, they want to run the ball. They would rather attack the defensive line than sit back, bump back, and try and protect the quarterback. Every offensive lineman wants to fire out, and they want to run the ball. That's just the offensive lineman's mentality. Much rather attack than defend. But, Great Bend's still going to throw the ball, and their pass protection has been excellent all year. They've only been sacked once or twice all year, so that's been a non-factor. But still, offensive linemen, they would rather run the ball for 200-plus yards than throw it 30 times, I guarantee you. So it's a good change because if the weather's a little bit less than ideal, although it was perfect weather Friday, you got to be ready to run the ball 25, 30 times, and they're well equipped to do that. That's what they've worked on the last 3 or 4 weeks during the postseason here. So well equipped to handle that. Challenge on Friday night against Orlando Central.
Talk about the goal line stand. It was first and goal from about the 8-yard line, if memory serves, and Great Bend has to come up with a huge stand, and they're able to do so. Walk us through those 4 plays.
Yeah, they run. Hayes runs like a zone scheme where they sort of give the ball to Holden Lynn, and then he tries to find a gap, and they constantly ran to the left side outside 10 yards, 5 yards, 8 yards, 15 yards. And then they kept running that play, and but the time was getting down to a minimum, so they ended up actually, I don't know if Great Bend would have stopped Holden Lynn if they would have ran it 4 times from the goal line. I just don't know whether they would have. But fortunately, Hayes decided to throw the ball a couple of times in there, and Holden Robordi made a tremendous play. They ran a tight end drag over the middle where the left tight end goes clear across the field. It's a common play for at all levels because you sort of lose that guy in traffic, and Holden did a nice job catching up to him, and some of the guys were already there. I think the congestion was an issue for Hayes, that they had too many receivers in too small a space, but it was a catchable ball that was up for grabs, and fortunately for Great Bend, that that pass was knocked down and preserved victory. Great Bend had earlier stopped them inside the 5-yard line on a similar situation, and unfortunately they were unable to handle a snap at the goal line and handed Hayes the ball at the 1-yard line. But they had an equally impressive goal line stand that time, too. That fourth down play was Ian Kramer playing safety, swatting the pass down, which, again, this happens all the time in high school. The high school quarterback catches the ball himself and tries to get the touchdown. First time I've seen that in years. I don't know if I've ever seen that, in fact, in high school football, but Hayes' quarterback wasn't able to get through traffic, and that was a fourth down play on that sequence.
Talk about the atmosphere inside the stadium during those final couple of plays and then in the postgame. I know that this time the fireworks were a little more pre-planned.
Yeah, I think that they had that up their sleeve that, hey, if we win, we're going to do this. And the planning and staging that's involved in that is you just can't even put your mind on that people would take their time and patience and effort to do that kind of celebration in lieu of something that may not happen. I mean, it's just, the support for Great Bend football was just incredible Friday night, and I would expect a similar situation Friday, although, it's hard-pressed to bring as many fans as Hayes did Friday night. I mean, they had their visitor side packed, and people are standing along the sideline like an 8-man football game. So, it's classic. It's just, there's something about high school football that's different than basketball. I mean, you're outside, you can yell stuff that you can't get away with inside in the gym. So it's just, it's certainly unique, and it's Americana at its best on a Friday night high school football with a lot at stake.
So Great Bend moves on. They will play in the semifinal game on Friday. They're playing, gosh, I can't even remember the name of the team they're playing. Salina Central, right?
Yeah, Salina Central.
Okay. So do you know anything about Salina Central?
Yeah, I've watched, again, when the team's playing, there's a lot of video you can get on Huddle and such. And Cooper Ridge, their tailback, has 2,400 yards, 26 touchdowns. Central averages 318 yards rushing, and Hall, the quarterback, 26 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So 150. So they go for the big play on the pass game, but Reeves is a bigger, stronger version of what they saw last week. So not a scat back, but I think Great Bend's defense, the Kern brothers, Trenton and Kale, they'd much rather face a guy who's physical rather than a quick guy who just put in the ground and darts and dashes. They'd much rather see a 6-foot, 200-pound fullback type runner, although he's got speed. So it's a tremendous challenge because Central averages over 450 yards a game and have put up a lot of numbers, but their defense has given up 20 points 7 times this year. So they're not a superior defensive team, and that's where Great Bend has advantages. Their defense, goal line defense, defense is exceptional. They probably turn back at least half, if not more than that, when teams into the 20-yard line. Because usually the only way to beat Great Bend's you got to hit big plays because they're not going to give up 5- and 10-yard plays at the goal line. They're pretty superior there. So, and there's 26 touchdowns and 3 interceptions, so equal. I think Great Bend would prefer a lower score, but if a higher score is going to happen and gets up in the 30s or 40s, Great Bend can score points. So I think Great Bend would prefer definitely that it'd be a lower score, more like in the 20s, but they'll handle whatever they have to handle. But it has prospects to be a really high-scoring game if the weather cooperates.
And about 10 miles north in Hoisington, the Cardinals were also playing in a quarterfinal game, and they handled their opponent, Garden Plain, pretty well, but honestly, a closer game than I think the final score indicated.
Yeah, Garden Plain has a similar style with Hoisington. They're more of a physical, run-oriented offense, but you hold the team 4 yards rushing. You get game 1, you got them whipped because they still only throw the ball 7 times. So even when they're behind, Garden Plain still running the ball. So with a matchup that certainly favored Hoisington. Now, on the other hand, Southeast Saline, 4th straight year they're going to play Southeast. Yeah, tremendous passing and rushing, so they got balance. And that's what Coach Baird has strived to do all through the season is he knew that when it got to this game, you need to maybe match Southeast. You got to have an offense that can run and pass. And Brody Fanninsteel's their X factor. They have the best player in the game. Brody Fanninsteel's the best player in the game. how you utilize him is certainly a key, and Coach Barrett has done a tremendous job. He only threw the ball to him twice, 93 yards and a touchdown, and a 30-yard pass. So excellent job of that. And on the goal line, 2-point plays, short yardage, Fannin steals pretty much money. So I would suspect it'll be a higher scoring game. But again, that doesn't favor Hoisington. They need to keep the score in the 20s. Although Hoisington beat them 49-42 in 2023, but this will be the fourth straight year they have played. And then they would suspect that the finalists will be Nemaha Central for the fourth straight year in the championship game. But it should be, and Hoisington has a much better shot than I thought they would have been at the start of the season because they've improved. They've got the passing game in line, and their defense is really underrated, although they're going to face a passing challenge, which gives them trouble from time to time. But we'll see how that sorts out. Grady Gebhardt's rushed for 1,800 yards and 32 touchdowns. So,
yeah, I also wanted to talk about Brody Pfannenstiel a little bit. That 60-yard catch and run. I mean, he's obviously such a spectacular athlete. We've spoken about him a bunch this year, but big dudes just aren't supposed to be able to move as fast as he can. And I think that touchdown that he scored kind of towards the end of the first half really was the turning point in the game.
No doubt about it. And what I always call that is game speed. Here's Brody Pfannenstiel running the 100 meters during a track meet. Here's Brody Pfannenstiel with a football. How does a football player with equipment on run that fast with a football? I call it game speed. And it's just like Pfannenstiel has game speed because that's the fastest I've seen him run all season. It's just great to have a weapon like that because there's no matchup. There's no defense that can match up with a 6'4", 220-plus guy who can run a 4.5, 4.6 40. There's no way you can match up with him. All the quarterback has to do is just get the ball out to him, and Pfannenstiel will take care of the rest. So it's a tremendous weapon that, again, Coach Barrett is smart. He's not going to overuse that aspect, but they're going to try for big plays, and that's what happened Friday night. So it's certainly a matchup in Hoisington's favor. But yes, it should be quite a game. It's going to be a challenge. Southeast averages 180 rushing and 280 rushing and 180 passing. So again, a tremendous defensive challenge for the I mean, the way they're playing and the confidence they're playing with. Again, they just need a lower score. I don't think they're going to win a 40-38 game. They need maybe high 20s is the best they can go.
Looking at the Final Four in 5A, can you predict a state champion given the four? I guess look at the four teams and tell me which one you think is going to win the state title in 5A.
Well, I've had Great Bend number one, for the balance of the season, but the East team, which I suspect will be St. James, is a tremendous team that plays a tough schedule, but neither of those teams, Great Bend or St. James, has what you call, they've been to the championship game, they've been that far. So that's one advantage that Great Bend has is they won't be giving up an edge to a team like St. Thomas Aquinas, which has been in the championship game the past couple of years. So that's an advantage. I still give Great Bend the favor. They've got the best player in the state, Ian Creamer, and Coach Aaron Beck knows how to utilize him. He's not going to overuse him, but he's going to utilize him for big plays. And as long as they give time to Daxton Minton, they've also got a weapon at quarterback. And their defense, again, is underrated. It's really a tough-minded defense with Trent Kern and Cale Kern at linebacker. So I still give Great Bend the edge. Now, on the other side, I would say that Southeast Saline is the state favorite in 2A. And if Hoisington beat them, then certainly Hoisington can win the state title. But I still give Southeast a little bit of an edge. But there's something to be said that when you're on the road, you gather your guys together, and you have a mission to try and fill the night for that home crowd that night. So Hoisington has a shot, although, again, I'd still favor Southeast.
Jim, thanks so much for the time today, man. I appreciate you coming on and looking forward to talking to you next week.
Anyway, yeah, thank you very much. And yeah, you've been doing a great job. Enjoy listening to when I can to see how the Cardinals are doing. And you get to take your show on the road this week, so that'll be fun.
Yeah, first road trip in a while for the Cardinals. I think the last road game they played was at Cimarron, and I was actually out of town that week. So this will be my first road trip with Hoisington in a very long time.
Do you like the Kansas format where they reward performance with home games?
Oh, absolutely. I think that's how it should be. I think you should be seeded based on record, and the higher team should be hosting through to the state championship game. That's my preference.
Yeah, and like Texas goes neutral site, which I think is very odd. I mean, I've seen some Texas games. The quarterback for Georgia Tech, I've seen him play King, and saw him play high school football. And it's just odd that all these big Texas games are playing it somewhere else, which is definitely hard on the home fans for sure. But the fans this time of year, they don't mind traveling. But I like the way kids does it in the classes now. If you have a heck of a season, you're going to keep playing at home, and it certainly has been beneficial. I mean, you saw the scene at Hoisington. I mean, isn't that just high school Americana, high school Friday night football?
It's awesome. I'm telling you, my favorite part of high school football, or my favorite part of sports in general, is the crowd reaction. I love when a home crowd gets excited for something that's happening. That pop, the crowd pop is what I call it, and it sounds so good. And I think you're right. It's Americana is a great word for it.
Yeah, and the nice thing about that is these are memories. Those high school young men at Hoisington and Great Bend, they're going to remember this year, their senior year, the rest of their lives. They're going to years from now at their reunions, they're going to say, "Man, you remember when we did this and did this?" Lifetime memories, and that's what it's all about.
Absolutely, Jim. Thank you so much for the time today, man.
Hey, you're welcome. Thank you very much.
Absolutely. That's Jim Mizunas of the Great Bend Tribune joining us here on Sports Day. Big thanks to Jim Mizunas. He is he's as knowledgeable as anybody. It's one of the reasons that I like to have him on Mondays. It's him and Garrett Fitzpatrick, and those two guys are sports fans. Jim covers it professionally and obviously, like I said, writes for the Tribune and does a fantastic job and is willing to come on the show and just kind of shoot the bull a little bit. And yeah, I mean, what a fantastic weekend for Barton County as far as high school football goes. Hoisington was going to be the favorite against Garden Plain, and they go out and they execute and they do a great job and hold Garden Plain to just over 100 yards of offense and win that game, kind of going away at the end and really just kind of separating themselves and getting to the Final Four. And then what a war between Great Bend and Hayes. It was. You always felt like that first game, yeah, Great Bend pulled away late, but it was kind of a couple of big plays kind of at the very end that made that score what it was. And you knew that this was going to be a close game down to the wire just because it's a playoff game, man. This was for a chance at a semifinal. And Hayes is an extremely good football team, obviously very well coached. They have an identity that they lean on, and they do what they do very well. And for them to come into Great Bend and make that game as good as it was, I think it was the moment that rivalry deserves. I think it's the moment that part in the playoff deserved. I thought it was just overall a really, really fun game and a really well done, well played game that Great Bend just made the final play when they had to. Cohen or Bordy, man, I'm telling you, that final play, I hope. Selfishly, I'm hoping that Cohen is one of the players that Coach Beck brings in. If he does bring anybody in on Thursday, he makes that decision, and he's certainly welcome to. And but if I could be selfish for just a second, I would love to ask Cohen about that final play. But hey, with any luck, Great Bend will continue to win. They'll continue to make things happen, and they'll go on through. And then we'll do the thing that we did with Ellenwood with any kind of luck, and we'll pile as many of those kids in the studio as Coach Beck is willing to bring, and as many of them can get out of school as they can justify. And that would just that'd be awesome. It'd be so good for this community. It'd be so good for that school. And if Hoisington could do the same, I mean, goodness, can you imagine? One, can you imagine this show? Two, can you imagine what it would mean for this, I guess, 20-mile area? Two teams 10 miles apart, both of them still playing in the round of 4. So just a fantastic showing by Barton County. Sports Day today is brought to you by Curran Floor Service. Whether you need a new ceramic, porcelain, or natural stone floors, their knowledgeable and friendly flooring experts are here to help you find the perfect floor for your home decor and budget. Visit the Great Bend Showroom at 908 Coolidge to see, touch, and feel the latest styles. Also brought to you by Cody Crook of Red Cedar Land Company. Whether you're looking to sell your land or find the right property to buy, Cody takes pride in understanding your goals and making the process as smooth as possible. Call Cody at 620-617-7320 or visit redcedarland.com. We're going to take another break, and on the other side, Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, joins us. It's the middle of the busiest time of year for a play-by-play guy, especially one that has to host a hour-long talk show in the middle of the day. But basketball and football overlapping right now, and you're starting to kind of see baseball and softball kind of out of the corner of your eye. And Wyatt joins us. He talks a little bit about Kansas State and both sports and gives us a preview of what the week ahead looks like for the Wildcats. So that's on the other side of this break. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
Marmy Auto Group makes it happen. Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmys, make it happen.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of Your Local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Gobble up the savings at C&E Doors. Right now, get incredible Thanksgiving deals on 9x7 and 16x7 white insulated garage doors. These savings won't last long. When the turkeys are gone, so are the deals. So run or waddle or maybe even gobble to C&E Doors today and gobble up your insulated door before they fly the coop.
Hey Cougar fans, this is Brant Daughtry, voice of the Barton Cougars. Cheering from the stands is great, but you can give our athletes a true competitive advantage by joining the Cougar Booster Club. Boosters provide the best equipment and facility upgrades, helping Barton athletes succeed at the regional and national level. Whether you're a business or an individual, your support matters. Call 620-792-9377 and become a Cougar Booster today. Go Cougars!
Needing a healthcare plan for your business? Let the experienced team at Freedom Claims Management Incorporated customize a health insurance plan that fits your needs. Whether you're a large company or a small business on Main Street, FCMI can help you provide employees with great health coverage at an affordable cost. From setup to ongoing support, they handle it all. Schedule your free no-obligation health assessment today at freedomclaimsinc.com. That's Freedom Claims Management Incorporated, with locations in Great Bend, Russell, and Plainville.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec.
Sports, leisure, fitness, and wellness, even senior and adaptive needs. It's all here at the Great Bend Rec. Pick up a program guide or stop by the rec office at 1214 Stone in Great Bend, or check out the all-new website, greatbendrec.com. Live, play, explore at the rec.
It's all here at Great Bend Rec. Live, play, explore at the Rec.
Sutherland's is your complete home improvement and hardware store. Tens of thousands of products are in stock at everyday low prices. Sutherland's also offers custom buildings, including post-frame barns, garages, and deck packages too. The friendly and knowledgeable staff at Sutherland's, always ready to help you with any project. From hardware, lumber, cabinets, plywood, and OSB, fencing, power tools, furniture, and more. They simply sell for less. Sutherland's, West 10th, Great Bend, helping America build it better since 1917.
Welcome back into Sports Day. Brant Daughtry here with you, now joined by Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, for our Tuesday conversation. Wyatt, let's talk basketball first. I thought a really entertaining game against Cal. I think Kansas State played really well for most of that game and came out with a win.
Yeah, it was a good victory because, as a first, I believe, against at home, a good quality opponent. Now, who knows what they'll be like in March, right? But I thought they played hard. K-State really jumped on them in the first half. It kind of was, a tale of two halves, if you will. I thought it was very interesting. K-State led at the break 55-34, and in the first half, K-State made 23 of 34 shots. Cal outscored K-State 62-44 in the second half, and they were 23 of 34 from the field. Same exact shooting. That's crazy, isn't it?
Wow.
It doesn't happen like that very often.
No, that's a little bit different, but I think that shows consistency, and I think that's been the key word right now for the K-State offense, is just the fact that throughout all of these games, whether they're playing a paycheck game or, like you said, a quality opponent, that they're still able to put up a ton of points.
And they have. I mean, in that particular game, you had 23 points from P.J. Haggerty, 21 for Kamari McGriff, 20 for Nate Johnson, and 16 for David Castillo. It was a second straight game in double figures for David. He had 19, I believe, in the game before against Bellarmine and was really, really good. Offense has been good for K-State this year. You look at their 4-0 start, and they're averaging 93.5 points a game, shooting almost 55%. And they have also gone 42 of 92 from three. That's almost 46%. So I think they're getting a little bit better as we go in some other areas, including the defensive side, which they need to, but offensively, it's been pretty good so far.
And I think more of that showed up against Tulsa yesterday, that this was another close game, but K-State's offense is able to pull it out. P.J. Haggerty is just, I mean, we've talked about him a couple of times. He's really lived up to the billing.
Yeah, he's terrific. I've very much enjoyed watching him so far this year. He's one of those guys that I wouldn't say that he's necessarily a spectacular shooter, but he is a spectacular scorer. And there is a difference. In this game last night, he had 31 points, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 5 turnovers, 2 steals in nearly 32 minutes of play, and went 11 of 12 at the free throw line and 10 of 17 from the floor. That's a remarkable thing. As a matter of fact, it's the first 30-plus point, 10-plus rebound effort at K-State since Michael Beasley in 2008.
Wow.
And this is from a guard. So really, really good win. K-State was a little fortunate last night in some ways. They're down 5 with 49 seconds to go. Get a couple of stops and baskets to recapture the lead after being down 83-78 with 49 seconds to go, but then stopped them twice in the final 18 seconds too. So really happy to get that one because it wasn't easy and maybe a little bit fortunate, sure, but I thought they did some good things too.
And what's crazy is, we talked about P.J. Haggerty, but you mentioned it a second ago. There are other guys stepping up as well. You mentioned Nate Johnson and Abdi Bashir are going to be key as well. And I think that those two are stepping up, as is everybody else. And this offense feels, I don't want to say complete, but certainly maybe ahead of schedule is a better way to put it.
Yeah, that's a good point, I think, because, and I'm just going to be honest with you. I love Nate Johnson's game. He's 6'3" and 215. He's really strong. He can be an elite defender. He does a lot of things on the offensive end well. He's just what I would describe as a stat stuffer. He's going to make some points. He's going to get some rebounds. I mean, you look at the game last night for him. He was only 2 of 7. He had 5 points, but he had 9 rebounds, 4 assists, only one turnover, had a steal in almost 35 minutes of play. And a couple of times made plays defensively that really helps K-State win the game. And if he doesn't get on the floor a couple of times, they probably don't win. He's a big piece for them, no question about it.
Let's talk a little bit of football now. 14-6 over Oklahoma State. We'll start with the good here, Wyatt. The defense for K-State, I think, continues to improve even through the injuries, and a struggling Oklahoma State team, they were able to take advantage.
Yeah, they were. Other than the Tech game where K-State turned it over 5 times, they've been really good here in the last half of the season, or maybe even a little bit more than that, in turning people over. Had 3 interceptions, 2 fumble recoveries in the game on Saturday, and it kind of saved their bacon, honestly, because the offense was flat and really didn't do a whole lot. I was really proud of the defensive effort. I thought they really competed. They were probably, I think middle of the field they weren't so good, but when they had to make plays, they did. And so excited about guys like Ryan Davis, and I loved his game. I loved Jordan Allen's game. Several other guys. I mean, those veterans made some plays too. One of the big plays in the game was made by Cody Stepelbein and Damian Alalio. Those guys have been around here not as long as I have, but they've been here a long time.
Fair enough. And so let's look at the offensive side of the ball now. Just it continues to be a struggle. Things just kind of feel a little off for the K-State offense right now.
Yeah, I think that's a fair thought. I thought they played, and Coach mentioned this on Monday, they just didn't really get anything consistently going, whether it was run or throw, and it made the game look pretty lethargic from the offensive side of things. I know people have been critical of the play calling, and I understand it, but Avery also said after the game it was one of his poorest games as a Wildcat. And then you lose Jace Brown, which is a monumental loss for the team. So they've just got to be better. The offensive line has certainly had its issues. They went through a stretch there where I thought they were getting better, and I think they were, but probably have regressed a little bit, if you go and just talk about last week's game. And they've got to get it figured out pretty quickly because going to Utah will be a challenge. But I think they need to come out and be really ready to play like they were when Tech was here. And it's hard to do in that environment at Utah, but that's what I think is going to lie ahead for them because that's a good football team out there, no doubt.
Yeah, you spoke about Coach Kleiman's press conference that happened yesterday. That was he spoke specifically about the challenge of blocking the front 7 of Utah, and it shows up in their stat sheet as well how difficult that's going to be.
Well, Utah, when you look at some of their numbers, yes, they've lost twice, but they've lost at home to Texas Tech, who's 6th in the CFP, and they lost at Provo 24-21 in their big rivalry game. I think I could still make an argument for you that they're absolutely as good as BYU, if not a little bit better, especially on what I describe as a neutral site kind of atmosphere. So I think they're right there, and still they're dreaming of a CFP spot. Are they on the outside a little bit looking in? Yeah, sure. But I guess what I'm trying to say is they're very well coached. They have 2 quarterbacks that just really give you all kinds of headaches. 2 pros in the offensive line, good running backs, really good tight end, and a defense that is deep, physical, tough. I think I would tell you in the games that we've played this year in the league teams in the league that I've studied, I think this may be the best secondary I've seen in the conference. Their safeties are good. Their corners basically are man pressed. They're going to get after you, man. They give you nothing. So you better strap it on and be ready to go.
And Wyatt, is something that Coach Kleiman said. Jace Brown now likely out for the year. The injuries just keep piling up for Kansas State football. How do they overcome that?
Well, it's difficult because if you think about it, and most people don't want to hear this kind of stuff, but if you go back to the first of the year and you say that you're going to lose Austin Romaine and Toby Osinsami on the offensive side, most would say, uh-oh, that's a problem because that may be your 2 best defensive players. Dylan Edwards, did not have the season that he wanted. Now he's no longer part of the program. And I think with him and Jace Brown and Avery, you're talking about the three most explosive players, and two of those three guys are now gone. So it is problematic. It's difficult to overcome, but you've got to try, and it's next man up mentality. They've got to get J.B. Bradley going again this week, and I think he will be available to play. Adonis Moise is a talented but young receiver. Maybe he could step up. It'll be hard, no doubt about it. But I learned a long time ago in this game, man, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Injuries are part of it, and you've got to try to overcome it. It's not easy, but I think they've got to try and see what happens. It's hard losing talent like that.
Your next broadcast, I believe, will be on Thursday as K-State hosts Mississippi State. What have you seen from the Bulldogs?
Well, they're really well coached. Chris Jans does a good job. He's taken them to 3 straight NCAA tournaments, and it's hard to do that in the SEC. You know how good the SEC was last year. They're kind of rebuilt. They have a guy back that started for them a year ago, but isn't even starting now. So that probably tells you a little bit about how they feel about their abilities. Now, they do have one guy who's really good and a returning preseason All-SEC, Josh Hubbard, their point guard, 22.3 points a game, just a terrific player. You know, you think about 108 made threes last year, 108 made threes the year before that. In his junior year, he's going to get it cooking, right? I mean, it's just what he does. He's a scorer. And so I think everything that they do is through him. And then you either get Nebraska, who's played really well, or New Mexico on Friday night. And then Stan and I'll get back from Salt Lake on Saturday and turn right around and leave Monday and go to Bloomington, Indiana, and play up there next Tuesday. So, yeah, you got some good ones coming, right? No doubt about it.
This is crossover season. You and I talked about it last week. I've got basketball Wednesday, then I've got football Friday, and I've got more basketball on Saturday. And I'm not going near as far as you are, but I still understand the running around that this type of year makes you do. But gosh, isn't it fun?
It is. It's a blast. You know, I have always said that it's the most difficult prep of the year by a country mile, and yet you're so busy. It blows by so quick. Hey, it is what it is, and you're doing what you love, man. Why not? Let's go.
Let's go. Wyatt, thank you so much for taking some time out. Like you said, busy time of the year, but you took, I think we're about 13 minutes here, and it's always appreciated, man.
Absolutely, brother. Great talking to you, man. I appreciate it.
Always. That's Wyatt Thompson, the voice of the Kansas State Wildcats, joining us here on Sports Day. Sorry about that. I didn't have my mic on. Talk about it every time we speak to Wyatt. He's just absolutely the nicest guy in the world, and always generous with his time. And actually, today I made a mistake. I called him later than I usually do because I simply forgot. I was about 15 minutes late, and I got distracted by other things that I was working on, and Wyatt was just like, oh, hey, man, don't worry about it. We're good. So big thanks to Wyatt. Yeah, K-State football, not the year that they wanted. K-State basketball, something to keep an eye on. PJ Haggerty is kind of unlocked that thing, and then you have the team is shooting fantastic right now. They're at, I think he said 40%, just shy of 40% in that interview, maybe a little bit over. I hovering around that number. If you can keep that number, you're an elite offense. If you can shoot at 40% from deep, they're doing really well right now. Got to figure out some things defensively, but man, they're on the right track, at least on offense. Sports Day is brought to you by Equity Bank. There when you need them. Bank locals, save big with in-person banking and business banking. Visit equitybank.com for more information. Equity Bank in Great Bend, Hoisington, and Larned. Also brought to you by C&E Doors, your full-service garage door company. Follow the orange signs south of 10th and Harrison. We got to hit our last break. You're listening to Sports Day live from the Mayo Money Management Studio right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.
The 20K Christmas Cash Giveaway, presented by Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryan dealer, whatever it takes, and Mayo Money Management. And today you can get qualified to become our latest instant finalist at Mayo Money Management. Find them on the corner of 16th and Main in Great Bend from 1 until 4. Now is the time to stop in and talk to Tiff if you have any questions about the markets, interest rates, or inflation fears. When it comes to stock market prices, Mayo Money Management is here to help navigate uncertainty with a clear plan. Because knowledge is power, and panic, it's not a strategy. The team at Mayo Money Management is watching fluctuations and emerging trends every day, helping protect what you've built and positioning you for what's next. If you're looking for ideas on how to spend $20K come December 13th, Mayo Money Management would be a great place to invest that $20K. And you could become our latest instant finalist with a $20K Christmas cash giveaway, presented to you by Cornerstone Automotive and Tire, Mater Plumbing, Heating and Air, your Bryan dealer, whatever it takes, and Mayo Money Management, your latest place to become an instant finalist today from 1 until 4.
Barton Community College has college classes that fit your life and your budget. With 5 flexible start dates, Barton Online is perfect for picking up a class or earning your associate's degree at less than half the cost of a university. Study anytime, from anywhere. Save time, save money. Start strong with Barton Online. Ready to take the next step? Visit online.bartonccc.edu and enroll today.
Selling your farm or ranch acres can be stressful. At Red Cedar Land Company, they are extremely diverse in the number of ways they can represent you, and they tailor each project to meet their seller's needs. One of the biggest questions for a seller is, what is my land worth? At Red Cedar Land Company, they offer a free market analysis to help you better understand the value of your land. You deserve a better selling experience. Put your trust in Red Cedar Land Company. Call Cody Crook with Red Cedar Land Company at 620-617-7320.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Sean Powelson, president of your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people, so I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. Because at Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
Service from people you know, quality products and professional installation. That's Kern Floor Service. Stop by Kern Floor Service and browse through the different selections of flooring from laminate to vinyl, carpet, wood, and ceramic tile. See their selection of area rugs or special order the one that fits your decor, and don't forget, they can spice up those countertops too. So stop by Kern Floor Service today. Kern Floor Service, 908 Coolidge in Great Bend.
Central and Western Kansas residents, are you looking for a new vehicle? Marmy Auto Group can make it happen. Marmy Auto Group includes Ford, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep and Ram, Chevrolet, and GMC. Marmy Auto Group, your Central and Western Kansas dealer, has new and pre-owned vehicles, or we can special order your vehicle today. If your existing vehicle needs serviced, Marmy's award-winning service department can help. Come to Marmy Auto Group on 10th or marmys.net. Marmys make it happen.
Welcome back in. Final minute or so of the show. Brant Daughtry here with you. Sports Day Today has been brought to you in part by the Great Bend Rec, providing quality leisure, cultural, sports, fitness, and educational programs to improve the quality of the community and the individual lives of their community members. Also, by Freedom Claims Management. Let the experienced and dedicated staff at Freedom Claims Management, Inc. customize a health insurance plan that fits your business's needs. Want to go ahead and preview tomorrow's show? Zach Baird, head coach of Hoisington football, ahead of their Final Four matchup with Southeast of Saline, joins us on the show. And after that, Raphael Simmons, head coach of Barton Community College Soccer, joins us not live, but from Daytona, Florida, where he and I will discuss the fact that, hey, Barton is the 4 seed in the national tournament. They are through, they're in pool play right now. They won last night, and they look to go again tonight over the hosting Daytona College. I want to let you know that tonight on our station, there it is. I was looking for the right piece of paper. Tonight on our station at 5:30, we have the Champions Classic from Madison Square Garden. 2 basketball games in a row for you. Michigan State will play Kentucky, and a battle of 2 top 15 teams. Immediately following that, Kansas will play against Duke. I will certainly be watching that. If you want the ESPN call, that's right here. Hey, if you want to listen to Brian Haney on the Jayhawk Network, you can do that over on Hits 106.9 if you want his call of Kansas. Again, the Jayhawks versus the Duke Blue Devils. That's over on Hits 106.9 or right here. But you can also get Michigan State and Kentucky pregame set for 5:30 right here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. That's going to do it for today's show. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Big thanks to Jim Mizunas and Wyatt Thompson for joining me on today's program. Big thanks to Landon Winkler for running the camera feed and the video stream. I'm Brant Daughtry. We'll see you all tomorrow, same time, same place, 12:30 Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM.